Accept me live.
You're live on Facebook.
Whoa! Come on, baby, let's go! Woo! Hi, everybody! I'm working for the weekend. I don't know about you. Are you working for the weekend, Becca? Hi, everybody. So happy to see you and so excited that it's Friday, TGI Friday. Yay! Because guess what? I'm back. I'm Katie.
I'm Becca.
And welcome to Cooked Up Cooking with Katie and Becca. Hi, everybody. We're so excited to be here today. We're so excited that it's almost the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I've had quite a week. Just feels like so much is happening. School started, right? Becca, you started what grade?
7.
Becca started 7th grade. Woohoo! So it's been a little crazy. And we want to learn how to eat right and cook healthy meals, right, Becca?
Yes.
That's for sure. And I'm also excited because we have such a great crew joining us today. We have Paul Hemstreet joining us from Santa Clarita, California. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Katie. Hi, everybody.
Hey, and we have Bill Chin, my brother from Chicago, Illinois. Hi, Bill. Billy will be fielding all your comments and questions on Instagram today. And we also have Margaret McSweeney, also from Illinois, from Barrington, Illinois. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you and your cutie pie? Tell me his name again.
Coda. This is my grandpuppy. I'm babysitting for my daughter.
Oh my goodness, he is so darn cute. Okay, you guys, if you didn't know, Margaret McSweeney will be fielding your questions and comments on Facebook today. But not only that, she is the creator and host of the award-winning podcast Kitchen Chat, everybody. Woo! She's had incredible luminaries and her foodie friends on her show, everyone from Jacques Pepin, Stephanie Izard. I mean, I've been on her show, along with, guess who else is joining us today? Katie Workman. Hi, Katie Workman. Yay! Hi, Katie Workman. Joining us from Connecticut today, Katie Workman is the author of the Mom 100 and the incredible Mom 100 blog. And then tell us again the name of your second book.
The second book's called Dinner Solved.
Dinner Solved. Both incredible, amazing books. We're giving a copy away of the Mom 100. Paul, if you want to share the jacket cover for her book. This is a really incredible book. So many of my mom friends that didn't even realize I was friends with Katie Workman have sent me all sorts of notes saying, this is the best book. I use it all the time. It's like a Bible for me in my kitchen. So you guys, you definitely have to check it out. And I just wanted to say we are giving away a copy of Katie Workman's Mom 100 cookbook today. I mean, I think you guys know the drill. Anybody who makes a comment will be automatically eligible to win a copy of Katie's incredible book. But we're culinary friends, but it goes much deeper than that because Katie was actually the editor for the first cookbook that my mother, Leanne Chin, and I did together. Oh my gosh, it's been like, holy cow, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago. Right, Katie?
I think it's longer. I hate to tell you.
Oh no.
Because
I'm in denial. I'm in denial. But
yeah,
Katie,
being style is fine, but you can measure things against the age of our children, and my older son is 20.
Oh my God, that seems impossible. Well,
Yeah,
Katie and I have a long history together, and she was such a great fan of my late mother, Leanne Chin, and she really encouraged us coming together to be a cooking team. But Margaret and Katie also have been dear old friends, right, Margaret?
We have Katie's been on Kitchen Chat as well. Two of my favorite Katies today, and of course my daughter Katie as well.
Right.
So yes, it is just, you are so highly respected, both of you, in the culinary field, and I continue to learn so much from both of you.
I just want to ask Katie a quick question. What was your inspiration to write the Mom 100?
It was as straightforward as the name. Really, I had been the cookbook editor for many years, and so was often thinking about what would make good cookbooks. And I thought to myself, there was a moment, my kids were young, and I was staring at a package of chicken breasts, and then there would be a call the next day about a bake sale that I didn't know about that I had to do something for, or I was trying to like break fish into the rotation in my home. And I thought, okay, there must be 100 recipes that if I had them in my back pocket, if every parent, every mom had them in her back pocket, you'd be good to go. It would just be the answers to all of those ongoing dilemmas that parents face who are cooking for their kids. And so it's 100 recipes, 100 solutions, and it's organized in chapters that are sort of like the vegetable chapters called like they can't eat baby carrots for the rest of their lives. And the bake sale chapter is called like there's a bake sale tomorrow and you want me to do what. So it's very real lifey.
It's so great, especially during these times. It's such a great resource, and talk about, something you need to have in your back pocket. I think every mom or dad needs to pick up a copy of this book. Now, Margaret, before Katie launches into her cocktail recipe, do you have any questions for Katie?
Yes, Katie, you might not know this, but due to an unexpected health detour, I've now become plant-based in my culinary journey. So, is there something that you would recommend that is really helpful and easy to have in the kitchen for those of us who are plant-based?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm gonna make a purely vegetarian Bloody Mary, so that's kind of
Perfect.
helpful. But perhaps for a more ongoing basis, I don't know. It's funny. I feel like, gosh, there's so many answers to that question. Obviously, the most straight answer or the most obvious answer is just let the seasons guide you, right? Especially at this time of year, you can just if you go to a farmer's market or even a supermarket, you're going to see, you're going to get so much inspiration from the produce that's just piled so high. Of late, I feel like in the plant-based arena, I'm having a spaghetti squash moment. I just feel like it's you can make a spaghetti squash and eat it that night, but it makes so much that you can take the spaghetti squash afterwards, once you scrape it out and it forms those lovely little strands, you can make all sorts of casseroles with it. I've been mixing it with cheeses and tomatoes and other vegetables and just baking it casserole style, and it's so adaptable. It doesn't make you feel like you're just like pastaing yourself to death.
Great. Oh, it's good to hear. I can't wait to watch your demo today as well.
I love that spaghetti squash because you feel like you're actually eating carbs, but you're not.
It's so voluminous. I feel like one spaghetti squash, like you could fill a container like this with it. You can make it can feed 10 people. It's really, there's a lot packed in that little yellow container.
Yeah, a little bit goes a long way. So Katie, tell us what you're making for us today.
So Katie, you suggested a cocktail or a mocktail, and I decided to head into cocktail land. But you could definitely do this as a mocktail. Basically, just along the lines of what we were talking about just now, it's tomato season. It's also corn season, zucchini season, eggplant season. But I have been, well, first of all, I just have to show you, look at these tomatoes that I just got at the farmer's market. These are so sweet and addictive. I just have been eating them. This was full at the beginning of the day. I'm sure I'll pay for that in some way, shape, or form later. But because tomatoes are so available and inexpensive, and I actually have some growing in my garden, and when the tomatoes come, right, they come like all at once. So if you're growing some or if you're buying them at the farmer's market, it's hard to walk out with just 2 or 3 tomatoes. You end up with a whole bunch. And if they're ripe quite rapidly, they might go from ripe to pretty squishy, and you feel really stupid throwing them away. But they go past the point where you can really cut them and use them as a vegetable. But so you can see here, this tomato is pretty squishy, but what I'm going to do is just juice it basically. And I've done an entire container already. So I'm just going to show you how I decided to juice these. You can put them through a food mill, and you can put them through a ricer. And then of course there are lovely machines that are just geared towards people who are just grinding up tomatoes, siphoning out the skin and the seeds, and are left with just tomato puree, and people preserve that. I just was taking a tomato, I cut it in half, as you can see, and I'm putting it in a ricer with fairly big holes. You can, these ricers usually have blades at the bottom with different size holes, and like you can use a very fine hole if you're making like a puree, like a mashed potatoes, but I was using just sort of a bigger hole. You can see how juicy this tomato is. It's already like juicing itself. And I just pressed down, and I'm wearing a black shirt for a reason. You should see the white shirt I was wearing yesterday. It looks like I was in some sort of altercation. So then I'm just going to scrape the pulp off the bottom because I don't want to waste any of that. So this allows the skin to just stay in here, so I don't have to worry about that. And it does let some seeds in, but I don't really care. I think that like we just shouldn't be that crazy about, you know, throwing stuff away and wasting. So I don't really mind if there's some seeds in my juice. So push, push, push. I'm afraid this is going to go splattering everywhere. Okay, that's probably enough of that. So just scraping this out. And so that is what's in this container. And it's sort of, it's a funny color because some of the tomatoes I used were those like beautiful greenish, reddish, purplish heirlooms and some yellows. So it's all mixed up in here. So now I was thinking about what should be in a Bloody Mary besides tomatoes. And there's some pretty standard things. Some sort of acid is usually in a Bloody Mary or a Virgin Mary. It can be vinegar. I had some key limes, and I decided I was gonna juice them, but I was gonna make my husband juice them. So I made my husband juice them because that's a very labor intensive thing. So I had some key lime juice, and then horseradish is another very typical ingredient, and I decided to use that as well. And then I also have some parsley leaves here because I mean, fresh herbs are amazing, and I happen to love parsley. I think that parsley gets a little bit of gets overlooked because for so long people thought of it as a garnish and, you know, just a little sprig on a plate. The flavor of parsley to me is it's like the quintessential flavor of freshness. It's like, it just tastes green to me. And I think it's going to be amazing in this Bloody Mary that clearly I have never made before because I'm just babbling on and have never made this Bloody Mary. And then a little bit of hot sauce. Everybody, Margaret, Katie, and myself are all friends with Robert Schuler of Melissa's Produce. And so I'm going to use Melissa's. They have a Costa Azul Sriracha style sauce. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. You can use whatever hot sauce you have. And finally, I have a hatch pepper. This one's mild. Hatch peppers are in season right now. They're sort of like very cultish peppers that range from mild to hot, and they're only in season for a very short amount of time. And people who love them and buy them by the bushel. And then there's roasting stations outside of supermarkets around the South, and people buy like bushels of them and then go outside and put them in these huge roasting machines and peel off the skin, take them home and freeze them. And it's a slightly obsessive thing. So I have been introduced to them again by our friend Robert, who on my website talks all about how you can roast them, how you can use them. So he's like one of the leading experts on hatch chili. So a little
He's
commercial.
amazing.
He's amazing. We love him, and just a really good guy. Okay, so the thing about Bloody Marys basically is like, I will ultimately put this recipe on my website, and then there will be measurements. But right now, I have no measurements, and I think sort of part of the fun of making a Bloody Mary is the fact that you have to taste it a lot, and then just be like, I need more of this, I need more of this, and salt and pepper probably. All right, so
I completely agree with you.
No, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Katie, feel free to chime in, or Margaret. I'm throwing some hatch peppers into my food processor. I'm gonna make it pretty spicy. I love things pretty spicy. I may be sorry I said that, and you'll know because I'll fall on the ground. So there's some horseradish, a little bit of key lime juice. You could use vinegar, you could use lemon juice, and now I'm gonna add. This is just those tomatoes, just like you saw them. I was thinking about cooking down the tomato juice a little bit and then chilling it after that, so it would be a little bit more concentrated, but I didn't. So we're gonna keep going. Okay, so now a little bit of my parsley just right in there. And
So do you think there could be any such thing as a Bloody Mary gazpacho?
I made so much gazpacho yesterday, and I was thinking about that too. Like, why you could just I think it's kind of weird to drink vodka with a spoon, but that's something I could probably get over.
Yes.
All right, so now is the noisy part.
And I didn't even think about how you could really blend together the hatch chilies.
All right. Hold on. I'll be right back.
So
I
Katie,
love the
Jen,
idea
what,
of adding a hatch chili because it adds such an earthy spiciness to the drink, right?
yes, I love that.
I'm waiting to see if I say, "Oh, that's not so spicy," and then I'm like, "Oh, no, it's not so spicy." I'm gonna add some more. I'm gonna add a little more hatch chili pepper. I'm gonna add a little more of everything. Hatch chili pepper, juice. Oh, wait, no, it needs salt. Sorry, I'm not as organized as I should have been.
No worries at all.
Did you have a sample one this morning? Because I think I did.
Send one virtually to Chicago, please.
All right. So with a little salt and then a little pepper. And let's see, I added some more for a touch. Oh, I know this other idea I had. I was gonna garnish it with some pickles. These are like hot pickles. I'm gonna put the pickles in. I don't know.
Yum.
Why not?
I love hot pickles.
I do too. Okay. Let's see how we're doing. I'm the only one who's going to drink this with my husband, which is why I'm dipping my spoon in multiple times. If you came over to my house, I would not do that. This is really good. Okay, so now you could serve it as is. You could serve it. Celery is a very typical addition, like sort of like a garnish, but it's really just like sort of a ingredient in there. So I'm going to just put some vodka in our little glass here. Or big glass here. I would normally, so a nice way to serve this would be to put it in a glass pitcher and then have like a little container of these next to it, stalks of celery, and then put the vodka next to it. And then people can add as much vodka as they want and put as much celery in as they want, and maybe some extra parsley and pickles. So it could be like a little tiny Bloody Mary bar. Ooh. This is going to be good. I'm feeling this, I have to say. So
I love the idea of a Bloody Mary bar. That's so cool.
You guys are West Coast and I'm East Coast, so it's 6:30 for me right now.
You know, it's 1 o'clock anywhere, somewhere in the world.
I know,
Right?
but I don't even have to make an excuse right now.
No one has to, really. I don't think so.
Okay, so then
you know what I love about it? It just looks so healthy and fresh, right?
And some
And
pickles.
it's
Woo!
yum.
That looks amazing. Wow, Margaret, aren't you so excited? Don't you wish we could take a sip out of that right now?
I do. Oh, it looks delicious. It's plant-based, which I love. And you know, if you have extra sauce left over from that, can you multi-purpose that?
Absolutely. So what I would do with the rest of this, if I wasn't making a drink, is I would use this as a base for gazpacho. I would use this I would cook it down and use it as the base of a pasta sauce. And I mean, I feel like, it's just, you would use this in any way that you would use pureed tomatoes, except for that, it is a little thinner, it's a little waterier. So that's, cooking it down would thicken and concentrate it a bit. But if you wanted to even just add that, like if you were using a jar of pasta sauce and tossing that with hot pasta, and you just had a cup of this and you added that, it would just freshen everything up so much. It would, jarred pasta sauce it's absolutely fine. I've used it many a time, but it's sort of, it doesn't have a freshness to it. It doesn't have a liveliness to it. And I feel like if you added this to some jarred pasta sauce, you would just reinvigorate it so nicely. So that's,
Love that.
I don't know. I'll be thinking of plenty of ways to use this. I wish we could still have straws without feeling like we were killing all the baby seals, because this would be really.
I know. We could use a paper straw or
I
a metal
have
straw.
the
You
metal
know what I
one.
mean? I totally agree. It looks so delicious and so refreshing. And I just love that spicy note from the hatch chili. I think everyone should try this recipe. That will be available soon on the mom. Oh yeah, that's Melissa's
add a
hot
little bit.
sauce. Available soon on the Mom 100 blog, right? Yay!
Yes.
Thank you so much, Katie. Does anybody out there in Facebook land or Instagram land have a question for Katie?
There are so many people commenting that it looks delicious. They love the hatch chilies as well. They love Bloody Marys. They love both Katies. So lots of applause and love on Facebook.
I love it. And don't forget, all right, Katie, thank you so much. Really quickly, Paul, just share the cover of our cookbook one more time.
Okay. There we go.
Yay. Okay, everybody. Everyone today is eligible to win a copy of Katie Workman's Mom 100 cookbook. All you have to do is comment today. Just say hi, say Becca rocks, say Katie Workman rocks, whatever you'd like to say, and you'll automatically be eligible to win a copy of her cookbook. I just wanted to say, Katie Workman, thank you so much for joining us today. That looks so delicious.
Thank you, Katie and Margaret. I miss you guys. I am thinking of the day that I will get to see you in person, especially since we are separated by so many miles.
I know.
Oh, yes.
This is the next best thing, right, you guys? So we are so honored and thrilled that you joined us today. Don't forget to check out the recipe for this delicious fresh Bloody Mary on the Mom 100 blog coming soon. Until then, Katie, we'll have you back soon, okay?
I love it.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye. All right. That was amazing. Thank you, Katie Workman. Hey, Margaret, who's joining us so far on Facebook? And then Billy, who's joining us on Instagram so far today?
So many people: Frederick Mead, Lynn Quintilla, Laura Gusnada, Valerie Mitchell, Selena Meir, Randall Johnson, Ann Nicholson, Annette Jordan, Pam Buchanan, Philip Campy, June Bryant, so many more. Annie
Oh my
Ripp,
goodness. It is just
Diane.
a party. Oh my gosh. All right. And Billy, who's joining us so far on Instagram?
Well, let's see. We have Laura Chin, Dan Edmondson, Dan Nettie, or Nettie Dan. I don't know who that is. Tuttle Publishing is on.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. So in addition to your delicious Bloody Mary that you're going to make, right, we decided we would do some chow down, Chinese favorite takeout dishes that you love to order from your favorite Chinese joint around the corner. Well, why not learn how to make them? Because we know you have the time, right? Everyone has the time. And all the recipes we're making today, the ingredients you can find at a well-stocked grocery store. So there's really no excuse for not cooking Chinese favorites at home. But before we launch into our recipes, first of all, I just wanted to mention that Becca and I, that's me. Becca and I, we're appearing in a segment on the ABC syndicated show Localish this Sunday at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Check local listings. It'll just be on your local ABC station if you're living in New York, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, Houston, Fresno, and some other markets. Here it is, you guys. All you have to do is Google Katie Chin, Becca Jonas, Localish, ABC to check out our segment where we'll be cooking together once again. Becca saying, can I get a Band-Aid? And I say, what's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. She's getting a Band-Aid. All right, you guys. Should we launch into our first recipe? We're just making easy, simple, delicious recipes that anyone can make at home that you love to order from your favorite Chinese takeout place. But why not learn how to make it at home? Because first of all, it's easy, it's delicious and economical and better for you because you know exactly what's going into the dish, right? But before we launch into our recipes, I just wanted to start with our first trivia question because guess what? In addition to offering a copy of Katie Workman's Mom 100 Cookbook, we are also giving away today, you guys, a copy of Katie Chin's Everyday Chinese Cookbook. Yay! So we're giving away 2 cookbooks today, not just one. So my first trivia question is this: true or false? Was the Bloody Mary inspired by Queen Mary Tudor, the daughter of King Henry and Queen Elizabeth, and in 1553? Was it named after Queen Mary Tudor because she persecuted, and executed so many Protestants, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Protestants? Was the name Bloody Mary coined after Queen Mary Tudor? True or false? Please enter your answers now. Woo, Mary, Paul, and Billy, do you know the answer to this question? I mean, it's a little obscure. With the help of Google, we feel educated. But if you know the answer, true or false, enter it now. Yay! All right, you guys. We're going to launch into our first recipe while people are entering in their answers. We're going to start with some boneless, skinless chicken breast. I just have some boneless, skinless chicken breast. I cut into bite-sized pieces. You could use boneless, skinless chicken thigh, and you could certainly just substitute the chicken for beef if you wanted to. And we're going to marinate our chicken. To this, I'm going to add, because Becca ran away from me. To this, we're going to add.
I'm back.
Okay, Becca's back.
Cornstarch.
Salt and pepper.
Just say that.
Cornstarch and salt and pepper to our chicken pieces. Yay! And then we're going to add
Oil and soy sauce.
Yay! We're adding oil and soy sauce, salt, pepper,
And
cornstarch. Becca's going to toss this all together. So the reason that we marinate a lot of chicken stir fries or any kind of protein stir fries with cornstarch is because it creates a protective barrier around the pieces so that they don't overcook. Also, the cornstarch allows all the other marinades, flavorings, and seasonings to be drawn into the protein to make it super delicious and flavorful, juicy, and tender. So Becca's tossing this all together. So what you want to do next, cover this, stick it in your fridge for about 20 minutes, and you take it out before you're ready to cook. Now, through the magic of TV, we did this earlier this morning, so we already have some of our delicious chicken ready to go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is Paul's gonna switch to our, hey, before we switch to our talking camera, Paul, Margaret, and Billy, has anybody answered the trivia question about Bloody Marys?
On Facebook, a lot of people are commenting. Carl Gustav really says true. Frederick Mead, wow, true. Pam Buchan, oh, it's real cute, says, does Becca get recognized on the street now that she's quite the celebrity? Diane thinks it's false. Joel Timmons thinks it's true.
So many positive and
emotion.
negative comments. Billy Chin, anyone at Instagram weighing in?
Well, for one, Dan Edmondson says that it's true.
Okay, you guys, guess what?
Yeah.
You're right. Everybody's right except for the last person on the last thing. It is true, according to Google, my source for information and fact checking. It's true, which is kind of wild, right, Margaret? That something that we enjoy every day today harkens back to the 1553. Isn't that crazy?
I know. It's so interesting how food is inspired.
It is so true. It's really interesting. All right, so now, Paul, why don't you switch to top-down camera, please? All right, so to this nonstick skillet, we're just gonna add some neutral oil. And when I say neutral, I mean canola oil, I mean vegetable oil, things with a high smoking point. We're just gonna swirl the pan to coat. Now, a lot of people feel like you need a wok to cook Asian cuisine, but the truth of the matter is, if you have any type of a skillet, I prefer nonstick because you need less oil and your protein does not stick to the pan. I prefer a nonstick skillet. And then to this, we are going to add some ginger and garlic. Good job. We're adding ginger and garlic. And we're just gonna let this saute until the ginger and garlic become fragrant. Okay, very good. So it just becomes fragrant after about 30 seconds. So we're just gonna let this heat up. All right, Billy, any new friends joining us on Instagram?
Well, there seem to be a bunch of people. Tom Garai, Chelsea Nichum, either.
Hi, Tom and Chelsea.
Chelsea, somebody. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Billy. All right, so to this, we're just going to go ahead and add the chicken that was marinated earlier today. And once again, it's important to marinate the chicken in advance because we want the cornstarch and the seasonings to really melt together for a super flavorful dish. And in a lot of Asian cooking dishes, what we do is we cook things in advance, we take them out, and then we add them again later. So Becca's just gonna separate the chicken pieces. We're gonna sear it on a very high heat. That's the other important thing to remember when you're cooking Chinese stir fries. We want to make sure that we are in a very high heat. So we sear the chicken so it turns nice and white, right? She's gonna make sure that it turns nice and white. Yay! All right, Margaret, any new friends joining us on Facebook?
Yes. So Steve Patchchuk wrote in nice overhead shot, Matthew. So a nice compliment there. Also, Kim Rezek has joined as well.
Hey, hi, Steve Patrick. We're just cooking up some chicken. I know your favorite. Who was the second person you mentioned, Margaret?
Kim Rezak.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us today. All right, we're getting this nice and seared. So the thing about stir fries is people think it's stirring because it's called stir fry, but it's really tossing and flipping at a high heat because we want to make sure our protein gets nice and seared. And as I was saying before, once it's seared, and the recipes are available where, Margaret?
At chefkatiechin.com.
That's right. So I'm just going to remove this now that it's turned white to the bowl because we're going to add it in back later. Because the point of cooking it in advance, taking it out and putting it back in later so it doesn't overcook. You know what I mean? Because you don't want your stir fries, because sometimes I think when people make stir fry, they feel like, ooh, that was so chewy and tough. This is a secret to preparing a stir fry. You want to cook it in advance, put it in later. Okay, ready. Next, Becca's going to add a bit more oil. Now let's talk about the broccoli, because we're just making a simple chicken with broccoli dish here. The key to making a chicken with broccoli stir fry dish is to blanching the broccoli. And this means we just boiled some water. We put the raw broccoli florets inside. We'll let it boil for 1 minute. Then we take it out with a strainer and we put it in the ice bath so that it stops cooking. And then this way it retains this gorgeous, green, vibrant color and it doesn't overcook. So this is another key to stir frying, right, you guys? Okay, Becca added some more oil to our top down, Paul. Go back to top down. Ready? I'm adding the broccoli back in, our blanched broccoli. Woo! Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna let this cook for a bit. All right, back to me, Paul.
I love that sizzle.
Hi, so now I'm gonna make my stir fry sauce. I know it's very loud. Stir fry sauce includes about 1/4 cup of chicken broth. To this, I'm going to add more cornstarch along with some oyster sauce. And then I'm just going to stir this all together. So we have cornstarch, oyster sauce, chicken broth. This is going to be our stir fry sauce. And this is what is so delicious to just drizzle over some hot jasmine rice. Don't you agree? So yummy. All right, let's go back to our stir fry. Sorry, Paul. Back to our top down. Next, all right, so I have our delicious blanched broccoli, and then I'm going to add our chicken pieces that we cooked a couple of minutes ago. See that? Doesn't that look good, you guys?
That looks so delicious.
All right, and it's so healthy and so delicious and also very non-carb friendly. Now we're going to add a bit more chicken broth. Okay, and then to this, I'm going to add the mixture I just showed you. Our cornstarch oyster sauce, chicken broth mixture. Wow, that looks so yummy, so healthy, so good for you. Loaded with not only our amazing protein and vegetables, but we have a yummy, yummy Cantonese gravy. All right. Hey, Margaret, any of your friends joining us on Facebook?
Oh, yes. Jenny Yuanzhu joined.
Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. All right. Becca's our lighting expert. She just added a little more light. I'm just adding a bit of water to just liquefy this a bit. Hey, Billy, any friends joining us on Instagram?
Well, we had Christos was on before, and then there's Chelsea Renee Cheatham, I think, and Yugi Dulkar.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. All right. Did you guys see how easy that was? Don't you think that was easy? So simple. So delicious, so fresh, and so healthy. Now, you could substitute the chicken with a bit of beef. You could substitute with pork, with fish, with shrimp. It's a very versatile recipe. I'm just going to go ahead, Paul, and I'm just going to plate this up in our beautiful bowl here. Now, this is a great dish to make for dinner and then just have an extra batch made for your kids for lunch the next day, especially now that kids have started school again. I just love to make a simple stir fry the night before, and then I just heat it up the next day while they're studying. It makes life so much easier. You know what I mean, Margaret?
I hear you. So are your kids back in school yet, or when does that happen?
They actually just started school once again. Look at our beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Easy stir fried chicken with broccoli. So simple, so easy. All right, you guys, has anybody else entered in any answers to our trivia questions or any new friends? Have they joined us, you guys?
Just lots of fun comments. Joel Timmons sent a really cute little GIF or whatever it's called.
Hi, Joel Timmons. I just wanted to remind everybody today, we're giving away a copy of Katie Workman's Mom 100 cookbook, along with a copy of Katie Chen's Everyday Chinese Cookbook. All you have to do is comment, show some love, say Becca rocks, say I love Bloody Marys, whatever you'd like to say. Well, we're about to move on because, these Chinese dishes are so fast, right, Becca? Mm-hmm. Yes, they're so fast that we're about to move on to our second dish. It's going to be done in like 3 minutes.
Here's a question.
Before we do that, I think it's time for what, you guys? What do you guys think?
TikTok.
TikTok.
Dance break.
It's time for Katie and Becca's TikTok dance break. Yeah. I was so bad last time, Margaret. I don't know what happened.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready?
I
Here
am
we go.
impressed that you're just
Here
doing
we go.
this.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed.
That was honestly less embarrassing the last time, but still embarrassing because I kind of went the opposite direction. Okay, you guys, are we ready to move on to our next recipe? Yay! All right, I just want to give everyone the opportunity to either win Katie Workman's Mom 100 cookbook or my cookbook, Everyday Chinese Cookbook. So after that TikTok dance extravaganza, all you have to do is show a heart, a love, say Becca rock, say you are a terrible dancer, whatever you want to say, and you're automatically entered in to win the contest. So let's heat up another pan, you guys, over here. we're heating up a nonstick skillet, Paul, and we're adding some oil here. Again, some neutral oil. I'm using vegetable oil today. You could use canola oil if you wanted to. We want to get this nice and hot. Now, while that's heating up, you can stay with top down. I'm just using some rice here. Now, the key to making successful fried rice is to using fried rice from the day before. Chilled leftover rice that you might have gotten from takeout, or if you decided to make rice the day before. And the reason we want to use chilled overnight grains is because the grains so easily separate when you stir fry them, right? But if you decide to make fried rice a day of, that's fine too. I'm just saying this makes it super easy to cook. I'm just going to add our rice grains here. I'm going to break them up because they were chilled overnight in my fridge. Much easier to separate, as you can see here, right? I'm just going to separate them in the oil. Yay! And while these rice grains stir fry and get coated by the oil, I'm just going to talk about the other ingredients that go into this dish. Paul, if you want to go back to me.
Okay.
Hi. So I like to call this everything but the kitchen sink fried rice. This recipe is available in my cookbook, but also a version of shrimp fried rice available in the Mom 100 we're giving away today. I have some cooked shrimp, okay? You can use leftover shrimp cocktail. I have a bit of thawed frozen green peas. I'm using bean sprouts, soy sauce, salt and pepper, and then we have some eggs. Oh my God. That keeps happening to me. I'm sorry.
You crack me up.
I know. I mean, I think the whole point of this show is keeping it real. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real. Oh my God. All right. What I'm doing here is I'm breaking up my rice here. You see that, you guys? And then next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little well in the middle. There's different ways to do this. I'm making a well in the middle of my fried rice. I'm adding a little more oil. I'm going to add our scrambled eggs. 2 raw eggs. We're just gonna let those cook up a bit here. You see that? Have you guys noticed that Becca ran away?
I got a stain on my shirt.
She got a stain on her shirt. So dear. Happens to everybody. You know what I mean? All right. While these eggs scramble, Billy, any new friends on Instagram or any friends on Facebook joining us?
No, but Chelsea Renee asks, do you put rice in your vegetables and how do you make it?
Could you say that again?
Do you put rice in your vegetables and how do you make it?
Rice in my vegetables.
That is
I'm
the
not
question.
sure exactly. I think maybe that means do you add vegetables to the fried rice, I guess. Hold on a second. I say this is a great dish because guess what? You can add any leftover veggies you might have on hand. And just breaking up the egg that I scrambled in the middle. You see that, guys? Now, guess what? We are going to add to this rice, we're going to add our cooked shrimp. Rebecca's going to continue to toss and flip our rice with our cooked shrimp along with some thawed frozen peas. And I like to use thawed frozen peas. And look at this beautiful bowl from World Market, you guys joining us today. World Market, and the soy sauce we're using today is from World Market as well. Hey, Margaret, any new friends joining us or comments?
Yes, Susan Underdog Haste just joined.
Hi.
Valerie Mitchell says, I love Bloody Marys. And Frederick Mean says, I love stir fry. And you're going to laugh at this. Joel Timmons said, egg drop.
I love it. Woo! I mean, Valerie Mitchell, who doesn't love Bloody Marys, right? I don't care if you're a queen. I feel like when I drink Bloody Marys, I feel like a queen. All right, back to the top down, Paul.
We lost the top down. Can you turn it back on? And there we go.
I'm just adding some soy sauce now. You see that? And then Becca's going to continue to toss and flip our ingredients. So we have our rice, our shrimp, we have egg, we have soy sauce. We have it all coming together. Such an easy dish that is so versatile. You can put whatever, leftovers you might have. I also chopped up a whole bunch of green onions somewhere in my fridge that seem to be missing right now. But guess what? I also like to add a handful of green onions to this. You could also add cilantro and mint along with a bit of fish sauce for a delicious Thai style version of this dish. Doesn't that look good, you guys?
That looks so delicious.
It's so easy. It's so versatile. And then guess what? Also, what you could do is take a whole pineapple, cut it in half lengthwise, take a paring knife, just scoop around the middle of that pineapple, take out the middle, chop up little diced pieces of fresh pineapple, and you have pineapple fried rice. Just add that back into the dish, put it into a pineapple shell. So easy, so delicious. Becca's gonna go ahead and plate this up for you, you guys. It's very easy, it's very delicious. Oh, you know what I forgot? Some bean sprouts. I'm adding some bean sprouts. Now, bean sprouts can be found at a lot of well-stocked grocery stores, but you can't always find them. And if you can't find them, it's totally fine. I usually add our bean sprouts at the end of the preparation so that the steam from the rice can help them cook and get softened. But I don't like to add the bean sprouts too early on in the process because they get too, soggy and limp, if you know what I mean. So this recipe was inspired by Katie Workman's The Mom 100. And let's just not forget, we are giving away a copy of Katie Workman's Mom 100. Paul, please show the cover art of her book. Yay! And we're also giving away today a copy of my cookbook, Katie Chen's Everyday Chinese Cookbook. Over 100 delicious recipes from my mother's kitchen. And when I say my late mother, I mean Leanne Chen from Minneapolis. If anybody out there is watching in Minneapolis, you know who my mother was, Leanne Chen. So Papa in Chinese. That's what we say for grandma. So we're giving away 2 cookbooks today. Katie Workman's Mom 100 and my cookbook, Everyday Chinese Cookbook, 101 delicious recipes from my mother's kitchen. Okay, you guys, here we go. We have, all right, we have today, we have our easy and delicious Chinese takeout favorites, chicken with broccoli. We also have our delicious Katie Workman inspired shrimp fried rice. You can put anything you want into a classic shrimp fried rice recipe. Right, Margaret?
Absolutely. I love how versatile it is. And you could even make it plant-based as well.
Absolutely. You could swap out the rice with cauliflower rice. Right, Margaret?
That is a great idea. Oh, I love that.
Okay, Becca, tell them what you say.
Quinoa.
Yeah, also quinoa. Use quinoa, which is a perfect protein. You could use quinoa, you could use brown rice, you could use just about anything. It's a really great recipe to use for leftovers. You could also use seasoned tofu. You could use whatever you happen to have in your fridge. I like sometimes to just take some grilled steak. I just, from the night before, just chop it up, stick it in. And honestly, my kids just love it. And any vegetables you might like.
That sounds great. Love these recipes. I love your show.
Oh, we love you, Margaret McSweeney from Kitchen Chat. All right, before we sign off, I just want to make sure people have the opportunity to win either the Mom 100 from Katie Workman or a copy of Everyday Chinese Cookbook from Tuttle Publishing. I mean, my cookbook. So we just want to give people like a few extra seconds to just ask a question. You could just say Becca rocks. You could say, I love Bloody Marys. I mean, what would you say, Margaret, if you were entering the contest right now?
I would say, thank goodness it's Friday.
Yay, TGIF. I say, all you have to comment with is TGIF either on Facebook or Instagram, and you're automatically entered in to win one of the 2 cookbooks. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Billy, any new friends on Instagram joining us?
Nobody knew, but Dan Edmondson says, this is what he says, yummy.
Yay! All right. Okay, Paul, what would you say?
I would say it's time to chow down.
Yeah, it's time to chow down, you guys. All right, Paul, one more time. And this is going to give you a few extra seconds to make a comment to be eligible to win one of the 2 cookbooks. Hey, Paul, can you please put up the localish flyer up again one more time, please?
Sure. Hang
Oh.
on. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Making lobster pizza.
I'm sorry, I put Paul on the spot all the time. I apologize for that.
There we go. Can you see it?
All right, you guys, one more time. If you've joined us recently, we are appearing, Becca and I, on Sunday, this Sunday, on a new ABC syndicated show called Localish in 8 markets. So check it out. Just go to your local ABC station. We'll be appearing in San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Houston, Fresno, and some other markets. So please check us out soon. Hey, I see that Susan Swanson from Washburn High School joined us as well. Paul made a comment. Do you see that?
Swanson. Hey, Swanson, fellow Miller.
Hi, Susan Swanson. What did she say, Margaret?
She just joined, and Eric Knutson just joined. Knutson just joined as well.
Hi. Hey, you know, we have all our Minneapolis friends joining us right now. Eric Knutson, which really means Lisa Weaver. You can't hide, Lisa Weaver.
Kindergarten.
You can't hide. She's my friend from kindergarten. And Susan Swanson. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, go ahead.
I also put the link for your wonderful charity that you love.
Oh my goodness, thank you for reminding me, Margaret McSweeney. We want to keep those food banks full all the time, but especially during COVID. So let's just send hunger packing. If you enjoyed our show today, please make a donation to end hunger packing because we want to keep everyone well fed, right? Especially children in school. Yay. Okay, you guys. So with that, we're just going to count you down 10 seconds. Before we do that, join us on Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You could win $100 Miss Melissa's produce box. Oh my gosh, chili box. Okay, ready, back out. Count us down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yay! Thanks for joining us, you guys. Hope to see you on Sunday. Until then, happy cooking and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Mark McSweeney, Paul Hamstring, and Billy Chin, and Katie Workman. Last but not least, bye.
Bye.
Bye.